Hey, Rhonda. I was wondering if anybody was going to notice I was here. You all seem to be talking amongst yourselves. Hey, Darth. Well, that's why I kind of put the teaser thing up before we go. Of course, I always got to figure out what you guys are talking about. Hey, Tracy. Okay, whatever. What are you looking at, huh? Wow. Work's good. It was a busy week this week, so I'm glad it's over. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to get the real ones here. These are just over the counters. I don't know. Guided by Voices does have a song called "I Am a Scientist," so I don't know. It makes me look like a nerd. I think. Of course, then again, I sort of am. So Drew Carey, huh? I don't know. I've had people tell me I look a little like Jeff Foxworthy. Of course, that was before I had that. Oh, that's a drag, Tracy. I'm sorry. I've had that happen before, a couple times, as a matter of fact. Dale Jr., huh? Okay. No, I never did find the glasses. I did go buy a new set though. So if they're here, they'll turn up now. That's just you once you've replaced them, the old ones will turn up. But it's possible I set them down somewhere when I was out and about and lost them. Who knows? No, I looked in the car because yeah, that was the first thought. There's a little section between the center island and the seat that things could go in there, but nope. It's entirely possible I set them on the roof of the car when I was getting in, and forgot to grab them and drove away. Did the cat steal them? I don't know. Maybe. I got to admit, I didn't explore that option. Yeah, under the seats, between the seats, even in the back seat. So you're one of those people who has a place for everything. Yeah, I knew it was probably something like that, Darth. Well, even if they were eaten, I think I would have found the pieces or cleaned blood out of the litter box, one or the other. I've been in and out of the trunk a number of times, so I don't think that's it. I thought about that too, Darth. I looked around the garage and I didn't see him out there too. That would be a logical place because it could be on the workbench somewhere. But I wouldn't put it past the cats having hit him. I mean, they barfed on the floor a couple mornings ago. They're on Ted. You mean the bear? I don't know. I didn't actually look there. No, no, he doesn't have them. I didn't think he did. He has contact lenses, so yeah. Fortunately, I mean, I probably should wear my seeing glasses when I'm out and about more. And it should probably be either that or the reading glasses that I'm wearing at all times. But you know, I don't know. If I'm out on the road driving or something like that, I'll all the glasses, the seeing glasses on. Uh, but in terms of the readers, I only need them when I'm reading. So, well, that was my thought, Tracy. Is if if I couldn't find them within like a week, I go buy a new one and then a new set, and then they'd pop up, and then I'll just have another set. I mean, I'm not even really out of any money because I just paid for it through my health savings account. That's what that's for. No, they're definitely not at the Rock Shop because the Rock Shop has. I've only been missing the glasses for a couple weeks, and the Rock Shop, um, I haven't been there in 4 weeks. They've been closed for a couple weeks, so no, definitely not at the Rock Shop. No, these are readers. They don't magnify. In fact, I got a set of glasses, a set of readers, prescription readers once that had a 1.5 magnification, and I stopped. I obviously didn't consider my what little I know about optics, and that is if you increase the magnification, you decrease the focal length, and so it didn't work very well for me on my laptop or on my computer because I'd have the computer about this far from me, and it was out of focus at that point. I kept having to like really lean in on things to read it. So, I just went with the one X. It doesn't magnify at all. Yeah, I had one at Disney. I have one now too. In fact, I'm still using up what was in the Disney one. But it's so much easier than hassling with insurance companies. Just whip out the health savings card, swipe it, and you're done. Probably not in the garden. I got to admit, I didn't seriously look out there because I don't usually bring my reading glasses out when I'm working in the garden. I mean, Disney wasn't a total negative for me. It's just I didn't like the management. I didn't appreciate the way the management treated its people. And the award is still in the bathroom. Yeah, that's another option. I didn't think about that, Gene. Maybe Flash took him. I mean, she's getting to the point where she's pretty ancient. Maybe her vision's going. So far, the only thing I've found evidence of Flash being really skilled at hiding is herself. There's still nights. I thought recently I found her secret hiding spot, but no, just there's still many of them out there that I don't know. Yeah, I really did eat catfish. It was yummy. Never really had catfish a whole lot when I lived in California. Unfortunately, I think I let my mom's food biases affect me somewhat. And she always said, "Oh, I don't like catfish. It's too wild." And it's like, so I steered away from it. But there's so many things that turned out in the end. I was more adventuresome about trying than my parents. My dad used to always say, "Well, how, when my mom would try something new and I say, oh, I don't like it." My dad would say, "Well, you've never tried it. How do you know you don't like it?" But, now, later on, I became the adventuresome one and they were the Luddites, if you will. That is true. Yeah, she has great talent, turning into a rock. Oh, I love catfish. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of little things I had to do, Darth, and each one of them seemed, like it'd be a great vlog, but there just wasn't enough content in any of them to do a whole vlog. So I just decided, well, pretty much everything tastes like chicken. It's been cooling off a little bit lately here. That's has been kind of nice. And we're actually maybe expecting a little rainstorm coming in next couple of days. I guess something popped up off of the Gulf just yesterday. I saw it the first time. Showed up on the hurricane tracker, and I guess that's coming ashore. It isn't a hurricane. It's not even really a tropical storm. It's just a storm that's kind of moving across the Gulf. But it's right off the coast of Texas right now. Hang on a second, I'll show you. Okay, here, let's cut away here. Okay, here we go. All right. This is the NOAA Hurricane Tracking Center, and looking at the the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean here, and you can see right off the coast of Texas, this storm is right here, and it just popped up like yesterday. Now it's not going to turn into a hurricane, not even a little chance of it. There's another one coming out here, out off the coast of South America, which that could turn into something, or it might just fizzle. As it moves more to the west, it'll grow in strength maybe, and it could turn into a hurricane. This is how they usually kind of start. But yeah, we got this little thing right here next to Texas. I think that's coming ashore because I'm like right about here. So I mean, we're supposed to get some rain coming in tonight, and maybe the next couple of days. I guess Tuesday is supposed to be the strong day. So I'd love to see a water spout sometime. Yeah, I think what are this thing? It's supposed to be in the mid 80s today. We're going to be in the low 80s, I think, by the middle of the week, though. So that's nice. It was definitely nice to get out and walk last night because it wasn't that hot. It's a WT. It's for the Waco Ale Company. I did a vlog on them once. Yeah, I was out wandering around the neighborhood about midnight. It was nice. Well, as I've mentioned before, John, there's four breweries in Waco area, which is really cool. It's been fun. I've been to three of them. Uh, we went to, and I vlogged all three of them, by the way. I went to Bear Arms Brewery. That was the first one I went to, and they actually took me in the back and showed me their brew house, and that was really fun. And I also went to this place, the Waco Ale Company, tried some stuff down there. And I've been to a couple of events down at Brotherwell Brewery because they have you know, uh, like little like a flea market kind of things on their property every once in a while. And there'll be live music and beer tasting and all sorts of good stuff. And then there's a fourth place here, and I haven't been there yet. I've driven by it a couple times called Southern Roots Brewery, and I got to check them out some point too. But of the four that I've well of the four in town, the three I've visited, the two I like best are Brotherwell and Bear Arms. Bear Arms is my favorite, I think, because there's a few things that I really like there, and I like kind of their style. A lot of times, get breweries that make a bunch of like, fruit flavored beers and stuff like that. I'm not really into, fruit flavored beers. It's got to have a traditional beer taste. Hey, Mark. Yeah, it has been a while. I'm sorry to hear you had medical issues in your family. Everything better? It's always great when our old friend pops back in again. Well, it's funny. I'm about 2 hours south of Dallas. 2 hours north of Austin. Yeah, that was probably not the smartest thing in the world. I'm trying to escape the blue state of California for a red state like Texas. And where do I choose to live? Right dead center between the two bluest parts of the state. There's a word for that. It's called surrounded. It's funny you mentioned that, Brad, because no, they don't do a hatchet throwing at Bear Arms, but there is a place downtown that I've been meaning to vlog. I've walked by it a whole bunch of times where they do that, and it's called Stumpy's Axe Throwing. How great is that? Someday I'm going to get somebody to come visit me, a family member or a friend or something like that, and we're going to go to Stumpy's. It's funny because I've been thinking about a trip to that place for a long time. So it's funny that it just came up. I don't know. I haven't thought about dinner yet. Probably see what we have in the freezer. I bought a lot of fish recently, so I've been eating fish lately. I've been kind of experimenting with a new way of preparing the fish because usually my old standby is equal parts of lemon and olive oil with like a healthy dollop of garlic, and usually marinate it in that, and then put it on the grill, and that's usually pretty good. But I've been messing around a little bit with wasabi, and I'm a huge sushi fan, and so I like wasabi, and it's one of those. It's one of those things that you can, if you really like sushi and really like things that are bitter and spicy and extreme flavors, it's one of those things you're going to love. And I've been I use the same basic marinade, the lemon and olive oil and garlic, and I'll cook it that way. But then what I'll do is I'll create a little sauce that's like equal parts of wasabi and lemon juice, and kind of mix it up together, get kind of almost a pasty consistency, and just kind of pour that over the top of the fish. And that is really, really good. You're allergic to wasabi. Oh, that's a drag. Yeah, I mean, I've always loved things that have really extreme flavors, and wasabi is definitely one of those things. And I mean, the sauce that I make, it'll clear your sinuses. I don't know any other city I'd rather live in than where I am. Waco's a great place. I just like the vibe of this place. I definitely wouldn't want to move into any of the cities. I like the fact that I'm kind of out in the middle here of nowhere. without really being in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of green tea. Never was a teetotaler. Definitely wouldn't be Austin or Dallas or Houston. One of the things I love about here, is I love listening to people complain about traffic. It's like, wait, traffic? Traffic is when there's two cars in front of you at the stoplight here. These people don't know traffic. Even when they were doing major road construction for 3, 4 years on the main interstate going through town, the traffic wasn't as bad as the 101 in Los Angeles at 2 in the morning on a Sunday. And the truth is, we don't really have that many hurricanes make it all the way to Texas. They generally, once they start, if they happen to go up into the Gulf, they have to take a really odd approach to really be kind of an issue with Texas, because the hurricanes kind of come across the ocean, and then as they approach land, they kind of tend to turn up. And when they turn up, start heading towards North America, they begin cooling and losing power, and they tend to kind of swing back. And so it's got to come just the perfect path to hit Texas. Now, it doesn't mean that never happens, but everybody, what was it? What was it? Galveston, Texas, got hit by a big hurricane that no one knew was coming, like 100 years ago, and it killed a bunch of people. But it happens. But usually Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, they're more likely to get hit by a hurricane. Louisiana occasionally. My understanding is Elon Musk can't get out of California fast enough. Yeah, I guess I heard about Phil Donahue. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of him, but at least everybody knows who he is. Good. Maybe I got this back under control here. I've been fighting for the last couple of live streams with uh, with the ad generator on YouTube here, because what I used to do, I used to put it in let YouTube decide where the ads go, and I chose a conservative approach, so it wasn't bombarding you with ads all the time. But something changed a couple weeks ago, and ads started popping up like every 5 or 10 minutes, and I kept looking at the settings trying to figure out what I did. And I finally tried something else. I'm just doing timed ads now. One's going to pop up every 30 minutes, and I'm seeing on the screen we're about 5 seconds away. So some of you are about to see an ad, unless YouTube is lying to me. I thought you had like a YouTube Plus or something like that and weren't getting ads. Oh, what's the noise in the background? All the clocks are going off. There's the cuckoo clock, because it's 11:30 now, and I got 4 clocks now that are all making noise. So yeah, That's the antique clock. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So you're doing regular YouTube then right now. Okay. Oh, it's an Israeli flag. Yeah, I know. I've made that connection too. It's like the opening scene in Back to the Future. In fact, what I've been doing lately is rather than have all four of the clocks going off at the same time, I'm trying to stagger them a little bit so you get to hear each one of them go off. Yeah, it seemed like the day to put up the Israeli flag. No, I haven't made a good peach cobbler. Do you have a good recipe? Because I love peach cobbler. In fact, I got peaches in the fridge right now. Peaches are yummy. One of my favorite fruits. I love peach season here in Texas. I don't know. I think I'm probably done with my clock collecting phase at this point. It's just the fact that in the last year and a half or 2 years, I've inherited three clocks, and I mean I already had this clock on the wall here, right there, which I got back from the clock shop uh, a week or a little bit more than a week ago. It's nice to have that back. But I inherited two clocks from my mom and one from my dad. Black cats are beautiful cats. Yeah, peach and vanilla ice cream. I don't know if you remember, but I made some peach ice cream with that ice cream maker I have, and it was really good. Oh yeah, you're thinking of time off of Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, you're right, because it starts off with all those clocks going off too. Yeah, I've heard that they won't make black cats available around Halloween. It's crazy that people are like that, but yeah, that's sort of bite the tuxedo cat. Yeah, I do like mint chocolate chip, and I have thought about doing that. It's just, I get such good mint chocolate chip from Bluebell, that I don't know if I can outdo that. You heard me talking about you, didn't you? Come on up. We're talking about tuxedo cats. Let's see a tuxedo cat. Come on, buddy. Yeah, there he is. There's my tuxedo cat. I'm gonna give you a good brushing, dude. You are shedding like crazy. Supposed to be shedding in at the beginning of summer, not the end of it. Look at all that fur. Got to hold his head a little bit because he likes the brush on his face. Problem with this is with the fan on above here, the cat fur tends to fly when you do that, right, Bite? But you like the brush, don't you? The brush is your friend. See? I had to do that a couple times with Nibble. She had like a little mat on the tip of her tail of all places. Seems that the fur is gets a little bit more matted on top than on the bottom. Blob of fur floating around there. And I'm pretty sure it isn't mine, Bite. Ew, that was kind of gross, dude. You tickle your nose and then sneeze all over me. Is that how you show your appreciation? Huh? Okay. And that ends that part of our show. Yeah, bye, Tracy. Thanks for stopping in. Not my own cats, but when I was right out of high school, I worked at a vet for a couple of years. Actually, I wasn't very good at it. I got fired 3 times. But one of my jobs was bathing cats. Yeah, not a lot of fun. Very few of them tolerate it. Some of them become aggressive. Outback sounds good. There's an Outback here. I haven't been to an Outback in a long time, but I love a good steak. We always get our Jeff time between church and lunch. Bite and nibble like the bathtub too, but only as a place of refuge. They would never ever consider going anywhere near that thing if there's any water in it. It's pretty funny. I've seen pictures of that the cats get in the bathtub and then try and get out, and they're like skidding, getting skid marks, getting no traction. It's funny. I can totally see that happening. Yeah, puppies don't stay small forever. They tend to turn into dogs. 40 pounds, that's a big one. Amigo has sure turned into a great dog. You're lucky to have him. Things have been really going well, Mark. I don't remember how long it's been since you've been here. It's been a while, but I got a good promotion about a year ago almost, and that's kind of changed the video thing a bit. I used to try and do 3 videos a week. Now I'm doing them when I can. So it might be one a week, it might be two, it might be three, it might be none in a week. Just depends on how things go. I do have one I wanted. I think I kind of teased it last week in the live stream that I think at some point I want to do, and maybe this week. Yeah, rescue dogs, rescue pets are great. I think every dog or cat that I've ever had has been a rescue, except for the first one. We the first dog our family had was a collie German Shepherd mix that was a puppy of one of our friends' dogs. And other than that, every other dog or cat that we had was a pound pet. Bite and nibble sort of don't really fit the qualification because they never were in the pound. Somebody just abandoned them in my backyard and I adopted them almost 18 years ago. How crazy is that? When they're 18, they're out. They're out on their own. How can you have a black golden doodle? Grandfather clock. I don't know. Me thinks mommy isn't being honest about who daddy is. I don't know. I'd love to get a dog, but I just, my work schedule wouldn't work. Maybe when I retire, I wouldn't be able to leave a dog alone for 12, 13, 14 hours a day. True, I'd be home, half the days, but I don't know. I wish Bite and Nibble were more lap cats. Bite does sometimes. Nibble is too timid for that. Good seeing you, Jeff. Have a good steak. Yeah, having six cats and two dogs on your lap, that could be a challenge. Yeah, the most I ever had with cats was three, and that was just sort of because Bite and Nibble adopted me. Well, we're glad you're back, Mark. Yeah, unfortunately, that is true, Darth. 'That is true, Gene. I've seen that said too. 40-pound puppy, that's going to probably be the way that works. I think that's the way it always is, Yvonne. I mean, my cat's barfed on the floor a couple mornings ago. I wouldn't tolerate that from a human. Yeah, we used to go get bones for our dogs at the grocery store too. Now you can just get them right out of the right there in the refrigerated section. Is Logan being a tattletale? Yeah, fur balls. That's another thing I'd never tolerate from a human. You just imagine. No, she doesn't. No filter at all. Good for Logan. Oh, we got cat hair in my eye here. Never been aware of a cat fart. Dog farts, that's a whole different thing. She's your mini me, huh? So you have no filter either, huh? I guess I've never been humbled then. Okay, I'm glad my cats don't fart. I'm just going to put that out there. Or if they do, I'm never aware of Well, if you watched the video recently, I removed the pool a couple weeks ago and really haven't decided yet, although I am leaning towards putting something else there because it's going to be a lot of money to get it going again. And the truth is, I've gone the whole summer. I mean, we're into September now. I went the whole summer without, saying, "Hey, it'd be really nice to have a pool today." That's sort of what I thought. I was going to make the decision. To once I drained the pool, that I was going to make the decision right then and there whether to replace it or not. And I kept thinking, you know what? I want to go through the summer and let's see if I really miss it. So I don't know. We'll see. And the fact that I'm going to have to replace the diverter and fill the whole thing up, and then still be dealing with the issue of acorns constantly falling in it. That's going to I don't know. That was what kind of killed it late last fall, about a year ago now. We started moving into winter. Um, the tree outside just dropped thousands and thousands and thousands of acorns. I mean, you'd stand out there next to the pool and plop, and then a couple seconds later you hear another one hit the pool, and you'd get out there and you'd clean it out, get it all out of there, and then 2 hours later it's full again. Now that was just a really um, you know busy year, I think, for acorns. But that happens every once in a while. I don't know. I didn't know what else to do about it. And then I saw the sides started rusting out, and it's like, okay, well, I got to do something anyway. No, the metal from the pool is still in the trailer. I may bring it over to the dump this week. We'll see. I was having internet issues yesterday, and it's actually been for a couple of days. And I actually said, I think yesterday morning, that I was going to cancel today's live stream because I didn't have internet. But I got up this morning and internet was back on. So I figured it was some hardware issue. And since I did the, hang on, I can't read what all that. I thought it was just hardware issues, but just local hardware. My router and my modem are right here. Let's see, right there. That's them right there. And so I just figured, I use my internet a lot, and I thought maybe I just took out the router or the modem. So I figured, I was going to have to wait until the weekend and go down and get another one. But apparently it was something, outside, and apparently they fixed it. So. Well, I have sort of been thinking, I've been seeing these inflatable, pools that are, it's like an inflatable pool, but like for adults. It's 3.5, 4 feet deep, and maybe like 6 or 8 feet in diameter. So it'd be one of those things that when I need to at the end of the year, I could just drain it and roll it up and be ready to go. And then when it comes up to pool season again, at that point I could even move it around if I wanted. So I don't know. That may be an option at some point. I had a breakfast burrito for breakfast, goosed up with my Carolina Reaper sauce. Yep, I have hot sauce for breakfast. I'm weird that way. Yeah, that's what I need. Is I need a bunch of blow up toys. Yeah, I know people like that too. Me, there's never a bad time for cold pizza. I think tomato season is finally over for me now, but I got an amazing harvest this year, hundreds and hundreds of them. Yeah, pizza. I agree with your hubby. Pizza is one of my favorite things. Would I go back to Chicago? Pizza? Yes, absolutely. That place was amazing. I just don't eat out that much. And, most of the times I do, I'm taking you along and I'm doing it as a vlog. But yeah, I mean, the Chicago pizza was a little pricey, but it was really good. And I mean, I did buy a lot of food too. Yeah, I like deep crust pizzas, stuffed crust too. Yeah, the ones I got were really sweet too. Those little teeny tiny ones that you've seen me snacking on in the past. Very, very sweet. You would think that little teeny tiny tomatoes would probably be a little bitter or spicy or something like that. No, they're sweet. Cheeseburger pizza. That sounds actually really good. What kind of succulents do you have, Rhonda? Because I had like plumeria in my yard in California. I like those. Those, and technically, like cactuses are all succulents. You don't know, they just look pretty, huh? I had something in my yard, and I actually wish I could find it. It was a succulent kind of thing, and I actually had to wall it off a little bit because Flash loved to eat it, and so it was a very prolific plant. So it grew a lot. So when it grew outside of the little barricade, then Flash could have that. But by putting the barricade up, it prevented Flash from going there and just eating the thing to the ground. And I love those. Those look really cool, but I haven't seen those in Texas. I didn't grow any peppers this year. No, it was the strawberries and the tomatoes, and the strawberries did nothing. Yeah, yeah, that's one of the things about succulents. I didn't get anything off the strawberry bushes this year, but I've heard that the strawberry plants may come back next year. So maybe something because they're still alive. They're just not producing. Yeah, I think my mom used to have African violets at one point. Yeah, I know. We're down to 15 today. Maybe everybody's away for the holiday. Actually, I'm watering them a little less this year, I think, than I have in the past. I kind of heard that you don't want to really water tomatoes too much. And I think I got a better crop this year because I wasn't watering them every day. Logan says there's too many freaking plants in this house. Yeah, probably too many freaking Barbies too, Logan, right? I don't know if I'm gonna. I know they're having the sorghum festival down in Homestead Heritage, and I was thinking might go visit that. I don't know. My plans for today is this week is the first week in a couple weeks as the Rock and Mineral Shop is open. They've been off finding new stuff, so I got to run down there today after this and see what they got. I kind of said yesterday I was going to cancel the vlog or the live stream today because of internet problems. And when I found the internet was running again this morning, I kind of went back and forth a little bit as to do I still want to just go down and see go down to the rock shop early and not do the live stream because I'd already made the excuse for it. But I decided no, I'm going to do the live stream. And never too many rocks. Frame myself up a little better here. That's better. Yeah, I enjoy doing the lives. Yeah, I still got actually more than that because neither of the shelves on this one over here are full. I got stuff in the front, but there's probably, more rocks that could be put behind on each of the shelves, plus the two on the bottom. So, and I got room up here on top for one more big piece. And I don't know, that big piece may come home with me today. Because there was something that Kara showed me last time I was there that she's to the point where she'll see things that she says, "Oh yeah, Brecca love this," and she showed me something a couple weeks ago that she was gonna, she gets a lot, she knows a lot of like local rock vendors, rock and mineral vendors, and so she's got some people that will just let her have things on consignment to try and sell, and so she's got this one thing she showed me uh, last time I was there that, if, she said she's going to bring it down for me. So I don't know, give me a chance to see it. But she supposedly bought a lot of great things back with her. So looking forward to seeing what they got. Do I have any shale? No, I don't think I have any shale. I think I have a piece of slate. I don't remember seeing anything on the Facebook with a rock with water in it. I actually had a rock at one point that had water in it, and that was sort of the selling point of it. But and the question was, the person was saying, how long has that water been in there? But within 5 years, the water had soaked out of the rock and it was dried up. So probably hadn't been in there that long. It probably just was in a moist area, and the water got inside the rock. It kind of leached its way in there. It's hard to say right now what my favorite rock is. It's probably one of the big quartz clusters, just because they're really impressive. I mean, basically, what I've got, I've got the two shelves. I've got this one over here, right there, that is the original shelf I built like 6 or 8 months ago, and that's got kind of my little stuff in it. And then I got this piece over here, which is what I transformed from the desk, and that's got the big pieces, and that's got probably my favorite pieces there. And of course, I got my three big quartz clusters. Well, two quartz clusters, and sorry, I can't do this here very well. And my amethyst cathedral right there, and those are big and impressive, and I really like those pieces. But a lot of stuff inside the desk case is are my favorite pieces. No, the Texas State Fair is coming soon. No, So what you sent it? Let's. It's on the escaping the mouse page, right? Let's go see here. Let's see here. There's escaping the mouse. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, I see it. Let's cut away to it here. I like the fact that I can do that. Okay, so it was like a TikTok video here. But yeah, you can clearly see there's water inside there. And it's possible that that could be older also because quartz is a little less um, porous than like other things. Yeah, I mean, I may go do a Texas fair at some point. I mean, I've been to like some county fairs. They do some kind of cool things here. And in fact, I understand that in the county fair this year, we're getting free tickets from work again. They didn't do that last year. And so every time I've gone, you know, on the company's dime. You know, they give you the tickets, the parking pass, and the you know the armband thing and all that. You know, so you can go on the rides. But they didn't do that last year. But I heard it's coming back again. Keith Moon documentary. That'd be a good one. Keith Moon was an amazing artist. Never watched Baywatch. That would be beautiful to see, Gene. I was reading there was a cave in Mexico somewhere that's it's crawling into a giant geode. Apparently, it's one of those things that they don't let the public in very much, so that it's very very rare that people get to see it. Logan says, "Guess who has a birthday soon?" I don't know who has a birthday soon, Logan. It's you. Wow. Happy birthday, Logan. And no, I'm not going to sing to you. Nobody wants that. 6. Woo, that's almost to the triple digits there, Logan. It's time for you to find a job and get out on your own. Can't believe that Logan is going to be 6. Rhonda sent me pictures of the girls a couple years ago, which I sent to my mom. And I think the picture I saw of Logan, she looked about 2. So Logan's growing up. Charlotte's going to be 7. Wow. That's pretty wild. Yeah, you know you're officially old when you got a 28-year-old daughter. Yeah, my dad used to always tease me when I hit like the milestone birthdays. Oh, you're 40-year-old now. Oh, you're 50-year-old now. Yeah, Dad, you have a 50-year-old kid. You're really old. Mhm. I do the same thing with my sister. Yeah, neither of them lived to see that. It's weird to think it's been 4.5 years since I lost my dad and almost a year since my mom passed. I do kind of wish my dad lived long enough to see, how things turned out here in Waco. He saw me get the job, but didn't live to actually see me start it. And I'm sure Nana is listening, Charlotte. Yeah, I know he would. He would have visited me all the time if he could have. He would have been here helping me paint this house, doing the stuff in the yard. Oh, that's my Waco Ale Company T-shirt. They're downtown. It's one of the local microbrews in town that I visited. That hard. That first day was hard. Going to orientation, knowing what had happened. But yeah, my dad would have wanted me to do that. Like I said, he knew that I got the job, and he was so happy to hear it because that was the key to the whole thing working. You know, I could move here and burn through the profits from the house. I probably would have done that by now. Um, but instead, it took a little longer than expected because I was hoping to have a job within 6 months. It was closer to 9, but it just took a little while to find the right place. Boy, did I find the right place. Well, right now I have just hard copies of most of the pictures. How long have I been in Texas? It was 5 years in May. And how long have I been at the company? It was 4 years in March. So yeah, I've been in Texas for more than 5 years now. It's funny. I think I mentioned this on the video, but when I was over at that place in Lampasas picking up the clock, and then got that cool Venus flytrap thing. Um, they asked me where I was from, and I stopped and thought for a second and said, "Wow, I'm from Waco," and it's just I think it's the first time anyone ever asked me actually where are you from, and it's like I can actually say that, and that just sounded weird coming out, but that's the truth now. I'm a Texan. Lots happened in 5 years. Holy cow! I am officially the wacko from Waco. Absolutely. No, we try not to mention that we're from California here in Texas. They look at you weird, cross-eyed if you do. In fact, I've seen a couple of memes on the internet that shows people, somebody with a car with California plates driving in Texas, and they got a sign above it that says, "We aren't from California. It's just a rental." I haven't been to a movie since I've been in Texas, and didn't go to a lot of them even last few years in California. Just wasn't my thing, and I just there hasn't been any movies that I've been that excited about seeing. All right, losing Gene again. Yeah, we always lose her right about this time. Have a good church, Gene. Yeah, it's a tragedy what's happened in San Francisco. San Francisco used to be the most beautiful city in the country, bar none. Not reindeer. We have wild deer around here. I see them out and about from time to time. Welcome to the party, Elvis. Yeah, I mean, I remember it's been getting bad for a long time. I remember, once before I moved here, we'd gone to visit my sister, I think probably around Christmas one year, and everyone kind of suggested that hey, let's go to San Francisco. I was like, I was going to go along, and but I wasn't really into it. And then all of a sudden they said, well, maybe not a lot of people want to go. What do you think? It's like I don't really have any desire to go to San Francisco, and we ended up not going. We ended up going to Sacramento, and that was better. You like the lake vlog? Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have to go check in on that from time to time. I kind of stopped paying attention to it when the water level rebounded, but and hopefully, we're supposed to get some rain in the next couple of days, starting this afternoon, hopefully, and that'll help a little bit too. I think it's been kind of a dry summer. We had a really really wet May. I think there was like 20 inches of rain that dropped in May, but then it hasn't really rained a whole bunch. I think it's more her husband that wants to move, but she'll go where he goes. And he's been talking about Montana. I definitely wouldn't mind going and visiting him in Montana. Yeah, I don't know. They're saying rain today, but I don't know if there's any actually coming in. We got that kind of storm that's off the coast of Texas right now. Let's see, I got a text message. Oh, my glasses are ready to be picked up. Okay, sweet. It's supposed to be next weekend, so maybe I'll do that when I'm out and about. Let's see. I was pulling up the phone here to look at the weather, and I saw I had a text. So let's see. Yeah, a lot of just kind of scattered stuff going on right now. So nothing really close yet, but hopefully it will pick up at some point. Yeah, we're sort of in monsoon season here too. We follow each other on Facebook. I've never been a get on the phone and yak kind of person. We kind of follow each other on Facebook. I've been in northern Minnesota in the middle of the winter, so I wouldn't necessarily want to do that again, but it was fun to actually be there in the snow. Yeah, some people like it being remote though. I think except for Alaska, Montana is probably the least populated, the most sparsely populated state, for a state its size. I mean, yeah, you get Delaware and Rhode Island and stuff like that where there's only so many people you could fit in the state. But, for a state the size of Montana, I think it's, except for Alaska, it's probably the least populated state. That's another one of the reasons why I like Texas here is because we do get a little bit of snow, but it isn't bad. I think the most I've seen was like the first year I was in the house. Um, we got snow that year, and I think we had like 4 inches, and it stuck for 3 or 4 days. But I'm not into this. 12, 16, 24 inches of snow. That's too much. Yeah, and see that was part of the, part of the decision making process of where I wanted to go was, it had to be kind of in the southern half of the country. The truth is, Jordan's dad was actually talking about maybe getting me a job at the company he worked at. He works for a arc welding company that makes arc welders. I think it's Miller Electric is the name of the company, and he was trying to get me a job there, and it didn't really work out. But that would have been like in Wisconsin or something like that, and I don't know. It would have been cool because I would have been close to a lot of family, but I would have had to put up the snow with the snow too, and that's not really a thing for me. Yeah, see, I like the fact that I can drive a couple miles here and be out in the middle of nowhere. I think the fact that I always kind of lived in an area my whole life where, you leave one town, you're right in the next town, then you're in the next town, then you're in the next town. I like the fact that there's kind of an edge of Waco, and when you get to the edge, then you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's just plains and ranches and all that stuff. I like it like that. I've only been in Chicago once, and that was on New Year's Eve to see a Guided by Voices concert. And it was cold, but not snowy. And of course, it's right on the water, so you get the lake effect, cooling things down. California is still a beautiful place. It's just the people and the politicians that screwed it up. You get rid of both of those, it'd be a great place. I'd definitely move back. So many beautiful places in California. You can literally be in any kind of environment. You want to go to the beach, there's beaches. You want to go to the mountains, there's mountains. You want to go to the desert, you can go to the desert. You want to go to a forest somewhere, you go to a forest somewhere. California literally has it all. Nothing wrong with California that couldn't be fixed by getting rid of all the people. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Elvis. It is a very beautiful state just because of all the diverse environments there. Well, hopefully at some point they'll learn, Gene. It'll probably be too late. No, there's nothing that they couldn't, they couldn't fix it if they chose to do it. If the people of California said, we're tired of this, then they'd have to do something. San Diego is a beautiful place too. It isn't quite as rotten to the core like San Francisco and Los Angeles are yet. Well, that's pretty much anywhere in California. A lot of beautiful stuff in San Diego, though. I heard that was in Houston, Rhonda. It was like 28 lanes or something like that. I know we got the fastest speed limits in the United States. Is it? Okay. There's the grandfather clock. Yeah, the highest speed limit in the United States is here in Texas. It's 85 miles an hour. Of course, everybody drives that fast anyway. This is Texas. Yeah, but is that kph or miles? Yeah, pretty much. Because pretty much, if you're in the fast lane and you're doing 75, you're going to have people flashing their lights at you and honking at you and passing on the right and stuff like that. If you're, pretty much if you're in the fast lane on a 75 mile an hour freeway, you're going to be doing at least 90. I'll admit it. I've had my car over 100 on in Texas on a number of times. I tend to drive in the fast lane, but if there's somebody behind me that's trying to get in front of me, I'll yield to them. But generally, I'm going faster than most people. So if I'm staying in the second lane all the time, I'd always be doing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's sometimes just safer to stay in the fast lane if you don't have anybody behind you. It depends. If I'm hauling something, when I was bringing the stuff back from Temple when I was first in the apartment, moving everything into the storage locker, I wouldn't go very fast because at that point I'm driving a truck, and so it's a little different. Oh, no, I'm about ready for a nap here. I hate the speed bumps that are set up in such a way that if you hit them at the wrong speed, you're getting airborne. Somebody's going to get killed with one of those someday. Oh yeah, I'm that way too. Out on the highway, I'll push the speed limit, but if I'm going into a small town or if I'm on side streets or something like that, I very strictly follow the limit. A lot of times these highways that are, 75 miles an hour when you're out in the middle of nowhere, go down to 30 miles an hour when you go through a town, and I'll definitely do that. Haven't decided yet what's for dinner. I don't know. I'll go look and see what's in the freezer. I'm sure you're all yawning right now. Yeah, me too, Gene. I That's part of the reason why I like driving through the towns at the speed limit because it gives you a chance to kind of look at the town. A lot of these little towns are really kind of fun places. See, that's sort of why I like Waco, though. Waco's big enough that it has all the things you want and small enough that it kind of has the small town feel. In fact, Waco has grown a lot just in the last couple of years, largely because of tourism brought in from Chip and Joanna Gaines. Uh, but it still kind of has the feel of a small town. Yeah, see, that blows my mind of it that anyone would live in a town where the soil is radioactive. And granted, I get dishes that are radioactive, but that's a different thing. Yeah, I know my house is worth a lot more than it was when I bought it. It's probably worth, 20% more. Doesn't surprise me with all the nuclear testing they were doing in that area. Hey, Scott. A lot of Down syndrome there. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. Radiation does funny things with gene mutation here. Oops. I just beat on my computer here. Yeah, you would think that there'd be a lot of lawsuits, maybe not against the government, but against the company that did it. You said the company's still there. One of the things I like about Texas is the extreme changes in the weather. It isn't just kind of one climate all year round like California. California, yeah, you get a little bit of seasonal change, but not really that much. It goes from hot, scorching summers here and great electrical storms in the summer to occasional snow and really really cold temperatures in the winter. I mean, I remember last Halloween, it was so cold on Halloween that I actually had a little potbelly stove out by the street there and had a fire going and was giving away little mini bottles of liquor to the adults to help people keep warm. Yeah, I don't like being outside a lot, in the winter, but I don't mind it a little bit, or in the summer, I mean, when it's really hot. Hey, Eric, how are you doing today? Got here right at the end. The thing that really triggered the move was I was about to lose the house. I couldn't keep the payment up with the money I was making, and my job was about to go to zero because they decided that the year that I left that they were going to shut down all parades in the California Adventure. There wasn't going to be anything from the end of the Christmas season that happens like the first week of January until the start of the Christmas season that happened Thanksgiving week the following year. So it's like, I'm not doing well working my tail off to get at that place anyway. I'm losing ground. I'm not likely to find a job that is going to give me the kind of money I need to be able to support myself. It's just time to leave. Yeah, I like the weekends too, Eric. No, it was just a decision in this case um, because they decided they didn't want to do any parades in California Adventure. Well, and that wasn't happening as much, Yvonne, when I was there. But even then, it was happening to some extent. It's just really accelerated under Biden Harris. We got to tie it to her too. Good seeing you, Rhonda. Good seeing you, Charlotte. Good seeing you, Logan. Sorry. Yeah, happy birthday, both of you. I might do one today too, Eric. It was the best thing I ever did getting out of that state. I'm so much better off. I'm so much happier here. Yeah, I really am. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. I'm happy for me too. And I think, in my mom's final days, I think she was happy to hear that too. Because when I first got there, she was still in denial about, what her situation was. She kept saying to me, I didn't come here to die. I came here to live. And, we knew at the time that wasn't going to happen. And by the time we left, she'd finally kind of come to terms with her condition. And the last day I think I was there, she was just really important. She wanted to know you're happy where you are, right? And I said, yeah, Mom, I really am happy where I am. Yeah, I would have been riding that sewer line down the drain with Disney. I got out of there at the right time too. That place has just gone downhill so much. I mean, I had such high hopes for what happened at Disney. What was going to happen at Disney. I thought, okay, I've always been able to show myself off and show my capabilities and show my value to people. Um, and it just didn't happen there. I think it's you know it, it takes time sometimes for people to come to terms. Yes, she missed my dad immensely. But there's a big difference between missing somebody who's passed away and saying, "Hey, I wish I was dead." Got a new camera, huh? I hope so too, Mark. It was good to see you again. I don't think it's greed on Disney's part. I think it's they're pandering to a very loud, very vocal minority. That's just because this all started with when DeSantis in Florida, um, you know, started the no grooming of children policy, and the employees kind of rose up and formed and forced Iger to do something about it. Now, I guess I don't think it was Iger. I think it was the guy before Iger. Um, and because initially, he didn't speak out loud enough, I guess, and then he just took just took off when crazy left, and that just that just kind of trickled throughout Disney. And then we found out how bad it was because they had men dressing up as women, in the Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique at Disneyland, dressing up as princesses when they're clearly guys. And I mean, I saw a little of that at Disney when I was there, but it wasn't that bad to the point they were putting guys in Snow White costumes. That's just. I mean, I don't know specifically if that's happened yet, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, the Penguin Shores, that was kind of fun. Yeah, Walt was definitely an amazing person. And I knew people at Disney who I worked with who had been there long enough that they knew Walt personally. In fact, you remember a couple of years ago, I did a video of a friend of mine named Gary who passed away. He, was with Disney for, almost since the beginning, and he knew Walt personally. In fact, was on a first name basis with Walt, had coffee with him. That was just the kind of guy Walt was. He absolutely rejected it when anybody called him Mr. Disney. He says, "I'm not Mr. Disney, I'm Walt." And he had the same respect for the janitor as he did for the upper level management. Good to see you, Darth. Hope to see you again next week. Yeah, we're glad you were here, Mark. It's been a long time. It's good to talk to you again. I hope things get better for you. Anyway, I put in my 2 hours, so um, I think we're going to pull a plug on this one so I can go down. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks now since I've been at the Rock and Mineral Shop. They just got back and opened up a couple days ago for the first time in that period, and they got all sorts of new stuff. So I got to run over there and see what they got. So yeah, I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Thanks, everyone. Had a good time today, and I'll see you next week. Good night.